On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah, man, my viewers and subscribers, what Guan. A blessed and wonderful Wednesday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. Wednesday morning for true. This morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we're going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. Just a few days ago, in fact, 2 days ago, on the 13th of October, I brought a story where the lifeless body of a man was discovered in Comfort Hall in the parish of Manchester with multiple chop up wounds all over his body. In fact, he laid on the side of the road lifeless, right beside his dog. And sad to say, his dog was not spared of the brutal onslaught meted out to its owner, as the dog too was severely chopped up, leaving the dog lifeless. Now on your screen is a now deceased man, and he has since been identified as 39-year-old Shyan Young, otherwise known as Shyan, said to be a resident of Epping Forest in Comfort Hall in Manchester. And right beside him is his best friend, his dog. Now, for those who may have forgotten, police reports suggest that residents stumbled upon the lifeless body of Shyan sometime around 9 p.m. along the roadway in the district. It is stated that they summoned the police, and upon the arrival of the police, the body of Mr. Young was found laying on his back with multiple chop wounds all over his body. He was pronounced you know what at the hospital. Not for sure what them would have do with the puppy, because I don't feel like we have an animal hospital if we bring the puppy to, if we have the puppy pronounced you know what. But the whole meat of this matter is that his brutal slaying was meted out to him by his own family members. Now, I could go back a little bit in history. This brother here, back in the days, suffered a serious injury to his head. He suffered that injury when he was a younger person. He got hit off a bicycle. It is stated that he suffered some trauma to the head, which eventually led to some sort of mental illness in his later years. Now, he has always been a vocal person where not stand up for foolishness, but at the same time has always been taken advantage of by the younger males of his family. In fact, he is presently before the courts, was presently before the courts with one of his younger family members who broke his arm, if memory serves me correct. Now, his brutal slaying was perpetrated by a brother of the man that he is presently in court with. So what had happened is that he was picking some fruits, because he picks fruits and carry them to the market and sell him like a grabber in the streets. He's a hustler, so to speak, in Jamaican colloquial terms. So I pick some fruits and left him machete right at the foot of the tree there. So It is stated that a family member took up the machete. He went to retrieve the machete from the family member's home. Dogs bark upon him and him pick up a big stone, fling it and lick the dog. The family members were furious about it and decided, say, that is it. Them are gonna end him life for that. And it is stated that whilst he was trying to retrieve his machete from family members, they got into a verbal turn physical altercation. It is stated that he was followed and ambushed and severely chopped up by those said family members, 2 males to be specific. Now on the run for the fatal chopping of his own family member is this brother here, presently on your screen, identified as Kimani Gooden. And also on the run is another family member said to be a cousin, identified as Loraine Blackwood. Now these two are suspects, or should I say persons of interest, surrounding the fatality of Shyan Young, whose life was taken in the parish of Manchester. Boy, may I tell you my peeps, the thing rough, the savagery continues. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about is still in the Manchester Police Division, where yesterday I made mention that a woman's body was found along the roadway in Sharehampton, Manchester, with a knife lodged in her neck. Now the deceased woman has since been identified as 52-year-old Loraine Davy, who is presently on your screen. The police states that the woman's estranged partner, who turned up at the murder scenes, has been held for questioning. Now reports are that the woman left a shop in the community sometime around 9 p.m. on Monday. The woman's body was discovered on the roadway in the community on Tuesday. The body had what to be appears to be a wound to the head and a knife lodged in her neck. The savagery, my peeps, continues. Boy, may I tell you, it's rough. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the St. James Police Division, where the female Krasmite criminal element Toots has been remanded in custody following her first court appearance. Now Toots, whose birth name has since been identified as Shamara Forrester, otherwise known as Toots in the streets, of course. She is said to be of a railway lane address in Montego Bay. She was charged last week after police arrest her along with 5 of her cronies. Now, the woman is allegedly the head of a robbery syndicate plaguing the streets and businesses of St. James. And when she appeared before the courts on Monday, the judge said, jail, and you not get no bail. Yeah, man. Now, according to a police officer who is familiar or close-knitted to the matter, says that she appeared before the court to answer to the charges of illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The lawman also stated that investigations continue into her affairs, as the understanding is that the group which she allegedly heads is responsible for targeting and robbing several business establishments. So investigations surrounding that female criminal element continues. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is that a manhunt is said to be on in respect to a driver who is suspected of stealing up to $20 million from the courier service of which he has been employed to. Now, we get to understand that the man was a driver with the company, and he was a part of a 3-member team collecting cash from the Mega Mart store on Waterloo Road in St. Andrew last Saturday. It is stated that his 2 colleagues were inside and he remained in the vehicle. Sources stated that the man took off his uniform, left the gun, and made good his escape. Take himself quick and fast, with sums amount to somewhere between 15 to 20 million in cash. So we get to understand, say, police personnel from the St. Catherine North Police Division and also officials from the company raided his home. But guess what? He was not seen. He's from a community in Linstead, St. Catherine. Now it is understood that police operatives from the St. Andrews Central Police are aware of the incident, but have not yet received a fulsome report from the company regarding the matter. So the matter remains under investigation. Yeah, man. Security now play. The man just make a hasty retreat with all of the money. Boy, may I tell you. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is that the police are searching for 2 men who robbed a female in-driver worker of her vehicle along Windsor Avenue in Kingston. Now on the Spot News Media understands that sometime around 2:10 a.m. last Monday, the driver was booked to make a pickup along Windsor Avenue. Upon her arrival, she observed 2 young men standing along the roadway and inquired if they were the passengers who requested the service. It is stated that both men confirmed and entered the motor vehicle. One of the men sat in the left front passenger seat whilst the other sat to the rear of the motor vehicle. It is further reported that the male who sat in the front passenger seat placed the motor vehicle in park and instructed the driver to exit the car, whilst the other male exited the rear of the motor vehicle and sat in the driver's seat. It is stated that they then drove off away with her motor vehicle. Well, we're glad to say them not do her nothing, because a motor vehicle are just things, so to speak. And of course, insurance will definitely cover that. But if anyone have any idea about who the 2 culprits are, please alert the nearest police station. Now the last thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the St. James Police Division, where the St. James Police are going with a bag of things down there, rightfully so. Them attack the criminal elements head on. Now watch and see for yourself as it unfolds. Now watch.
I'm Superintendent Linroy Edwards, Operations Officer for the St. James Division. As we speak, we are conducting operations in the St. James Division as we are now in the Norwood space. It's raining heavily, but we commit to the people of this parish to ensure that criminals are pursued night or day, rain or sunshine. We have made a pledge to make this parish one of the safest in Jamaica, and the brave men and women of the St. James Division, combined with our other counterparts from other formations, have exhibited resilience, commitment and dedication. As we speak, we are trying to locate some men with guns in these communities, and of course send a strong message that they will be pursued anywhere, under any circumstances. So we are in the town centre, the clock here of Montego Bay, top of Barnett Street. The rainy conditions have contributed significantly to the movement of traffic across the township. See? Clear. And it's very important that we have all hands on deck. We're from one stage of policing where we treat with criminals. And then we are in the township now to ensure that people can go about their lawful business smoothly in terms of moving through the thoroughfare. So kudos to the team. They are all rounders. They are prepared to go in the hills and the valleys for the criminals. At the same time, they flick a switch and they're into traffic mode. So we mean the parish of St. James and everyone, you know, we're concerned about everything that has to do with policing in this parish of St. James. Peace, one love.